Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tales from the Fandom, the podcast that brings a special guest out of the multiverse and straight to you. Today's episode is brought to you by In the Reads. In the Reads provides beautiful, affordable artwork of the vibrant worlds found within your favorite books, TV, and films. From all wood bookmarks featuring illustrations and quotes from such fandoms as Star Wars, The Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Outlanders, and more, to fantasy and real-life maps drawn in the style of Tolkien. Go to inthereads.com and check out what is available. Like something? Use code TALES10 at checkout to get 10% off your order. A link will be in the show notes along with the code. And now, let's get to the episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of Tales from the Fandom. It continues to be the month of October, and I am so excited because I love when I get to have guests that ask me to come back to the podcast. I don't ask them. Like, she asked me. She's like, I want to come back and talk about stuff. And who am I to say no?
I
Especially,
like
especially because it's been almost 5 years to the day. I think it's about a week off since Sam, but you might know her online as Dovah Design. Awesome cosplayer. I'm just gonna say it. Is returning to the podcast. Sam, how are you doing?
Hello. Yes, I'm always happy to talk to you, David. I'm doing really well. Thank you. How are you doing?
It is my pleasure. Like I mean, I like to have return guests because it's comfort breed or familiarity breeds comfort or comfort breeds familiarity, something like that. One of those quotes that's out there.
Yeah.
So I always like to have return guests. Like it's a chiller vibe for me, and I'm not like as anxious, because I can get really anxious when I'm recording with new people. But it's wild because your original episode, which is episode 81, this one's going to be episode 288.
Woo.
October 30th, 2017.
5
Before
years.
but yeah, 5 years before we recorded, you won Best in Show at MegaCon 2017, and then right after that, you debuted your Snow White armor that you crafted.
I did, yes. Shortly after, actually, I guess you're right after we talked, but then we had a little delay for the release, of course. That
Yeah,
sense. But yes,
just like now, just FYI, everyone, we're recording in August, so August,
no,
September,
it's October.
I'm pulling the curtain back.
It's Halloween time, okay? It feels like it's Halloween time.
I wish it felt like it was Halloween time. We and the other funny thing is that we both live in Central Florida, and we both know exactly how it feels right now.
And it's honestly going to feel the same at Halloween too. It's just
I had someone say like, because they had just moved down here to work at the Disney College program, and they're from Indiana. I said, oh yeah, it doesn't get cold until at least like Thanksgiving, if not December at this point.
Exactly. Maybe Thanksgiving is nice.
Now, one of the things I love to do, obviously, when I have guests on, is that I follow social media, and I try to always, interact with the posts that you do and the stuff that you're posting, because it's like one of the only ways I can really give back is like posting and sharing and commenting and fighting the algorithm.
Yeah.
So that way people see the stuff.
No,
And
I really appreciate that, because I honestly feel like, even though it's been this 5 years, it's like I always see you on there, and like I know we've like just like messaged or like, commented back and forth. And so it really doesn't even feel like it's been that long. And it's just nice that we've been able to stay connected. So thank you for, doing all that. But also it's just been nice to still stay in touch. So,
Oh, it's my pleasure, and it kills me because I like, again, we live in the same state, in the same area, and every time I'm like, I really want to go see the work you do, like, because you make incredible things that you then sell to people, and I'm like, I really want to see it, and every time it's like, the schedule's not lined up, or I'm not going, or whatever, and then COVID was like,
oh gosh, yeah,
like nothing was happening. Now things are happening, and it's like I don't know if I'm going to this. I'm not going like that far, and all that stuff. So
well, fingers crossed you can make it to Holiday Matsuri this year, because I will be there in the Artist Alley. So
fingers crossed on that.
Yes.
But So last time we talked, which again, the link to Sam's original episode will be in the show notes, so you can just click on it, or you can search through the hundreds of episodes at this point. But we talked about like Elder Scrolls and Diablo, Dark Souls, Magic the Gathering. Are you still into any of those? Are you
Of
like
course.
you
Does
still
anyone
like
ever get out of any of those phantoms?
see I don't know. Like I played like Elder Scrolls Skyrim for like all of 20 minutes and then died at the beginning. I'm not really good at those games, and
Why
like
didn't I know? I didn't remember you have it. Oh, David.
listen, I'm terrible at games that aren't like turn-based strategy or like Final Fantasy, where I can take my time with them. And I will also admit that my first attempt at Skyrim, I died like when the dragon attacked, like right at the beginning. I was like, I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing. And then I make it to like the blacksmith person right like on the road, and then I get waylaid by like ambush people, and then I'm dead. I'm like, okay,
People, yeah.
this is my life in Skyrim. I bought Skyrim only so that way I could wander around and look at pretty things. I didn't want to be attacked.
Gotcha. That's okay. I forgive you, because I'm the opposite. So I'm not good at like turn-based. Like I don't have the patience to be like think that many moves ahead and like be making a whole strategy. Like I played a little bit of like Sid Meier's Beyond Earth like with my husband, and that's about it. Like that's fun because I'm like I don't know why that's fun, to be honest, but you just suddenly have played it for 20 hours straight and you're like, oh God, I need to sleep.
Just one more turn. Just one more turn. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, but other than that, honestly, I don't think I have the patience for it. I want to just run around and smash things and fight the bandits. So and the opposite.
So you're still into all of those. You're all in on all of them.
Very much, yes. I mean, I credit pretty much, my husband got me into the Elder Scrolls. I'm sure we talked about that last time, but I mean, I credit that even for why I started doing cosplay, like why I started trying to make stuff, because I wanted to. I mean, I'm classically, quote unquote, classically trained, right? Like in art, so I have a BFA in graphic design. But a BFA in graphic design at Florida State University, and graduating in 2011 meant, hey, you have to take all these studio classes, which I didn't mind. That was my favorite part, but it was, there was only so many graphic design classes you could take to fill in a semester. So I got to take painting and sculpting and all that stuff, and it was like, oh, this would be cool to actually do, right? And having that opportunity to like see something that's not real in these video games and say, hey, like I can actually use all these skills and practice and bring it to life via art, right? I kind of feel like I've lost completely my train of thought of where it was going that. But long story short, I like actually enjoy bringing those things to life through art, like making them, right? Like it's a way that I could do it. So yeah, I mean, I absolutely still love just being in those other worlds and then being able to make it real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's incredible like the work that you do with like I know I mentioned like the Snow White set that you created.
Yeah.
Right around the time that we were recording, you had just like finalized and finished it.
Yeah.
And then like the 2017 MegaCon armor that you had with like the big giant shield and everything, like that was incredible. And then every time like every time I turn around essentially on Instagram, it's always there's something new, like some piece that you're working on, something like even the Gimli helm, right?
Oh, yeah,
like that is just like such an epic piece, and I'm just in awe of it. Like I can't believe like this exists and it's here and you made it. Like it's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I can't too, right? Like and I mean, it's funny, like I'll have so I actually go and like work and vend at like booths at these conventions now. Like since we last talked, I've made that my job, which is awesome. It's been difficult to do, but it was always my goal, right? To like, not necessarily do graphic design anymore and to do art and to do cosplay and make stuff, and I'm doing it. But I'll be sitting there at a table and someone will come up and be looking and just be like, oh, that's really cool helmet. I'm like, thanks, I made it. And they're like, what? Like, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't know. It's like, it's just a really cool feeling. Like, just be like, yeah, I made that with my hands, like with these.
Out of curiosity, because I know we'll be talking more about the business side of stuff near the like the halfway mark or so. But do you ever have to like pull out your phone and be like, here's my pictures, like I actually made this? Like, do you get people questioning like, no, like
I
no,
really
that's
don't actually. People are really kind about it. I mean, they, they believe me. At least they say they believe me. So no,
oh,
I haven't had to. But I do take, yeah, all my process photos and I try to post them on Instagram, and mostly just because, everything is content. But also if I'm doing something like a cosplay competition, you do need to sometimes have that, photo evidence of like, here's the stages of me actually making this. I promise I didn't just go buy it, right? So I do have them, but no, people are actually really kind and trusting, and they, if they are also makers, it's really nice to be able to just quickly get into a conversation with them about like, yeah, here's my method, like, here's what I made it out of, and they understand, or you can chit chat about how they maybe made the costume that they're wearing while they come to visit your booth. So
it's something where like, and I didn't really get into it until I think like mid I guess a couple years ago, when I found out that like for cosplay competitions, people made like entire build books
oh yeah, absolutely.
of stuff. I had no clue about that until like one of my guests had brought it up and was like, oh yeah, I have like a 40 or 50 page build book on like all the techniques and styles and the way
Yeah.
that I sewed this and that and crafted this, and I use this technique and this technique, and
Yeah.
like blew my mind away that like that even existed.
Yeah, you need proof, man. It's specifically too, yeah, for craftsmanship competitions. So not necessarily one that's like a I've only ever done craftsmanship competitions, so I might be speaking out of my behind here, but if I'm pretty sure if it's not a craftsmanship contest, it's a little bit more loose as far
Mm.
as like what you made, but it's more about like there could be a stage performance or like how it all came together. But yes, with the craftsmanship, you need to be able to show the judges your technique, and also now having judged a contest as well, you have to kind of find a balance too between how much you put in the book versus how much you're just able to kind of speak to it and point things out during your prejudging session. But yes, typically like you need to be able to show that you know how to do something and how you made it, and speak to the specific materials and techniques for sure.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Like the work, that you and the other people, like I just see stuff and I'm like, my hands, they don't do move in that way. Like it's
It's
just it.
practice, David. Practice.
I see. I know it's practice. Like, and I joke with the artist people that I have that come on. I'm like, I can't even draw stick figures, and they're like,
Yeah,
well, have you tried drawing like 10,000 stick figures? No, I haven't drawn 10,000 stick
they're
figures.
right. It is.
One of the things that we talked about in the episode 5 years ago, and one of the things that you're into currently, and is Magic the Gathering, and back
Yeah.
then it was the card game,
Yes.
but it's evolved.
Yes. So yes, Arena was launched the year after we spoke, in 2018, and so I still play. That's another one of those. Like I feel like all of my hobbies and fandoms that I like are ones that people get into for life and you can't get out of. And it's Magic is definitely one of those that like, I mean, I've only played even since 2012. Like I wasn't even playing it like in, middle school, high school, and it's been around since the early 90s. So like I at least feel blessed, hashtag blessed, that like I don't have that much of a collection, but my husband and I may or may not have half of a closet and several boxes and binders and um deck container boxes that hold more deck boxes with decks. Yeah. But yes, I've been playing a lot of Arena.
I remember because I'm old. Okay, so I'm pretty sure there is a significant age gap, but I played third edition Magic like
Nice.
in the mid '90s
Yeah.
in high school until it was banned in my high school because Panhandle, Florida, they don't take kindly to like magic and satanic
Oh
type
yeah, no,
stuff.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I played it up until I don't know senior year high school or first year of college, and then stopped. And then I went away to college, and these people, my friends, were like, "Oh, you should play Magic. I need people to like practice on.
Yeah.
Like I'm a practice dummy. Like here's a deck." And here's how you kind of play it, and I figure it out, and then they would just like destroy me. It's like, okay, I'm here as the punching bag for you. I accept my role, but I do love the art. Like the art on the
Oh yeah.
cards is tremendous, and there are times where I see a piece from a card, I'm like, I'd love to have that hanging up in my house somewhere.
And you
But
usually can. You usually can. Like, so the artists that do the art for Magic, it's always labeled on the bottom of the card, and usually they sell prints of their artwork. Like, I've bought some from Todd Lockwood. He's done a lot of Niv Mizzet art specifically. So, of course, this like blue and red, purpley looking wizard dragon, like I have prints from him. Like, yeah. But I agree. I love the art on Magic cards, and it's getting better and better and more diverse. And they're bringing in all these different really cool styles as they expand. So if you haven't seen the recent stuff, you should check it out. Just saying.
I don't think I have. But with the computer game, like how does it work? Like how do you get more cards? Like are you buying virtual cards?
Yeah, it's a little bit pay to win, I'm not gonna lie. Like I've been mostly playing decks that I have from like, so where do I start?
At the beginning.
No, that's too much. It's too much. There are ways to pay real money into the game to buy packs and buy cards and yada yada, or you can log in every day and do daily quests and earn in-game gold and buy your packs and build your decks that way. And for the most part, that is what I do. Like I don't try to like aggressively like rank up or whatever every month. Like I just kind of play my same decks, and if there's a new card or two that I like you can like invest wild cards that you earn from like opening packs, etc., etc. So I try not to put real money. I think I put real money in when they released okay, so when they started beta, they had Amonkhet cards in there. Amonkhet was in standard at the time. And so I had this like awesome like cat deck that I loved. It was a Selesnya cat deck. But so since they like when they got out of beta, they took Amonkhet and some of the older sets out. I don't really understand why, but they took them out. They phased them out. I guess I don't know if they actually rotated out of standard or what. But long story short, when they re-released Amonkhet back into Arena once it was actually launched and in beta, I did spend real money on that because I was like, I need all of my like Adorned Pouncer. Like, hello, I need all my cats. So I do still have like a historic cat deck that I actually was just playing before we were talking for their midweek event, because why not? It's free. So I went in and played. But yeah, you can like go in and they have like weekly like Wednesday events where you can sign up for free, like play a deck. If you win 3 games, you get like card styles and stuff for free. So that's mostly how I'm playing it. I feel like I take in a lot of like creator content, like Crokies and CGB and all the guys that do play and like rank up and like make decks. Like I watch a lot of that because it's entertaining too, to like pop in and see what the new cards are doing. So it's just a lot of my brain power goes into thinking about like stuff that I don't need to think about in online card games, but here it is. So.
Now, are you playing real people, or are you playing like computer?
Yeah. You play real people. I mean, you can log in and play their computer. Their computer's called Sparky. It's real bad though. Like don't go play Sparky. For the most part, yeah, you're playing real people. Yep.
Okay. That's cool. I like that, Magic has evolved to the point now where you can play it online. Like, and that's gotta have been a good thing, especially, the past couple of years where things, no social interaction or face-to-face type stuff was going on. So
yeah, they were really good during all the shutdown. Like local card stores would, if you like posted that you played their Wednesday or Friday night events, they, you post on the group, they would like give you a free card style or a sleeve or whatever just for like posting it. So it was really nice, like through 2020 and early 2021 to be able to do that and still, know that you're playing real people. And like do drafts and stuff. They have drafts on there. So it was really nice to have that as an outlet.
That's so cool. It's fascinating where like certain hobbies and stuff has like evolved to like going from having the actual cards to playing virtually to being able to like stream stuff or have tournaments online.
Yeah.
Like it's just incredible that nerd stuff has, continued to become like more accessible and available to like everybody.
It is incredible. I love it. It is.
Now I want to say, when, like, because again, I comment on your stuff and you were like,
Yeah.
hey, I want to come back on the podcast. There was a very specific topic that you wanted to talk about, and it is a game that came out, I believe, last year?
It came out November 2020, so I'm like, riding an old horse, I guess.
But I don't feel it's like an old horse, because like I was like kind of into watching people play the one before it, which was Odyssey.
Yeah.
But you are like all in, like, if you're playing poker, Texas Hold'em, you're like pushing everything that you own into Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah, recently, yes. Yes. Luckily, they're still updating and doing DLC and stuff, so it continues to be enjoyable, yes.
Now, I guess my first question, because 5 years ago, Assassin's Creed was not on the list of video games that you were like super into.
No, it wasn't.
What was the draw to you for Valhalla initially?
Honestly, I mean, so in mid 2020, during the shutdown, it was like, oh, Assassin's Creed, the next Assassin's Creed is going to be a Viking game. And I'm like, what? It's going to be a Viking one. I'm like, I guess I should probably try to play that now. It was absolutely, they got me with the fan service, the like Viking style fan service for sure. I'm a sucker for all of that. As unrealistic as it is, I love it so much. And I blame Skyrim and all my roots in like fantasy and just smashing things. I blame that. I was preconditioned. So and I'd tried Assassin's Creed before, like, so I'm the kind of person that now that I like playing video games, I didn't always, like in college, I really didn't play video games. Like I would watch my boyfriends like play Halo and whatever, and it was cool, and I would try, but I kind of sucked at it. And really, like with Skyrim is when I was like full blown, like, why was I trying to be a quote unquote cool kid? Like, I've always liked this shit. Like, I'm just I need to play video games. Where has this been all my life, right? And like since then, it's like, okay, I want to know everything about this. Like I go all in. It's not like a little bit. I'm the person that's like, I think I have it in my Instagram stories somewhere on one of my like, saved posts. It's like when a friend asks me if Skyrim's worth checking out, and it's like that picture of, I forget which character from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, when he's like looking real crazy with like the like board behind him.
Oh yeah, yep.
All the gods and like the map. It's like I know so much about like, I wanted to learn so much about Elder Scrolls lore from Skyrim that now when I start a video game, I'm like, I'm not going to half do this. So to go all the way back, because I easily get sidetracked, as you can tell, I started playing Assassin's Creed back in, I tried to play the first one when it was free on Xbox. It had to be like 2013. I tried to go back and play the first one. And I just was the classic player of like, I'm kind of still new to video games. I'm climbing up this tower. Oops, I just let go and I fell to my death, right? And I was like, I can't, yep. I'm done. Like after like so many times of like trying to casually walk through a crowd and like not be noticed, and all the alarm bells go off and I'm like, okay, I'm dead. I really couldn't do it. So when I heard about this one, I'm like, okay, it's been a long time. There's been all these games, like, I'm on a PC now. Like there's, maybe they've improved it. And they absolutely have. Like it's leaps and bounds different from, and I, of course, am literally talking about the first Assassin's Creed all the way now up to Valhalla. So like, what, 8-9 years of like development history.
Right.
So I missed that whole middle chunk, but now I might go back and do a little more. But regardless, yes, I tried to go all the way back, but now I'm just in this one trying to know as much as I can about the lore from this and from watching like some, YouTube, people actually going back and telling me like, here's the actual lore. So I kind of am caught up, even though I've only played this one game.
Now was it like, because you mentioned like, the Vikings and fantasy, like, are you like historically like a person that's into like that time period or Viking specific? Is that like your general like niche area?
So my general niche area from like baby Sam has been like knights in shining armor, dragons, castles. Like I don't know about you, Dave. I know we live here now, but like I grew up here in Orlando. I grew up going to Disneyland. I grew up being the freaking. I had to be the princess, and then I had to be like the warrior, even though I was little. Like it was the like fantasy land all the way, all in Disney movies, like knight in shining armor. So that's always been my like nerdy um genre of choice, like more so than things like I'm really not a big space or like sci-fi or like comic book specific. Like it's really always been that for me. So with the advent of like Phil introducing me to like Skyrim and Elder Scrolls, because he's always played those kind of games, that all came kind of flooding back. So there was this like chunk of time, like I guess like late middle school to like, you know, to early college, when it was like, oh, I have to be cool, right? Like dragons aren't cool, even though I like always loved dragons. Like that was always like there, but it was that like period of time when like maybe it wasn't socially acceptable as like a 12-year-old to like wear my dueling dragon shirt to middle school. And I'm so glad he brought me back to all of that. Because it also was right around the time 2011 when Skyrim came out that like Game of Thrones was released, and then Vikings was released, and like all these shows came out where I was like, oh gosh, like other people like this and I love it so much, and was able to just dive right back into it. So specifically, yeah, like the History Channel TV show Vikings like got me back into that, and Game of Thrones, and like it really like it all came together so beautifully in this weird way for me. Where it just felt like kind of even how you were talking about like, oh, like nerdy things are all online now. It's like that. It felt like that to me in that moment where like, this is okay now and I can embrace this. And so I have, here I am. But
and it all lined up like all like you said, like all around that same time. Like that's a flood of
it was,
here's everything for Sam. Like this is Sam, this is for Sam right here.
Sam's year. Yeah. It kind of was. I mean, like to the point where, fun fact, my birthday is August 17th. And if you start up a new game of Skyrim and you wake up in that cart and they're like, oh, you're finally awake. It is the 17th of last seed, which is August. It's the 17th of August. So it's my birthday when you wake up on the cart in Skyrim and Alduin attacks you in Helgen. So it was definitely like meant to be.
That's incredible. Like those kind of like just coincidences.
Yeah.
And it's like, but was it a coincidence?
Apparently not. So here I am. Yeah.
So they announced Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and you're like, well, obviously they've made it for me.
Obviously.
Were you initially like when you got loaded up the game and everything, like was it an all in like I'm down for this game? Did it take some time to get into it? Like
it was a mix for me. Like it was like that title screen. I was like, oh, this is sick. And like the music, I was like, oh, this is really sick. And then it was like, okay, play. And then it was like, oh, I need to learn all these controls. Like I was like, wait, I was like, what does the C do? Like, oh wait, hold on. Because it's just like that slightly more options and controls than something like Skyrim or something like Elder Scrolls Online, which I've been playing. It's like there's just a little bit more nuance to like, okay, like this like G quick menu and like my crouch and like that's what climbs me up and down. Like climbing was still a little bit of a challenge. So I was, as excited as it was a little daunting at first. But once I got into it, like even before I was into it, I just remember like I had to stop what I was doing and send my friend Jason a text. I had to be like, there's a raid button. Like you can hit E to raid. This is fantastic. Like I had to stop everything and just be like, you have to buy this video game right now. So I was very excited about the like raid mechanic. Even though I didn't know what I was doing yet. I was like, this is fantastic. Like I was running around, I was accidentally catching fire. I'm like, why am I on fire? What is going on? I don't care. I'm still gonna hit stuff with my axe. So it was definitely like it took me a couple like I would play it for there's also this issue of like, right, like splitting your time. At the time, I was still working my graphic design job. I was trying to run my business and like keep an inventory on Etsy and play video games when I found the time. So it was like this daunting, like I need to sit down and like learn the mechanics and like pay attention to the story and like I want to do this, but also I'm really busy, but also like this is daunting and I want to do it right. I don't want to miss anything. I want to 100% it. So point being, it took me a while to get to a point where I was comfortable enough with just the basic like climbing, like combat, don't set yourself on fire. You go get supplies for your town. That I felt like, okay, I can like come here and really relax and play this game. But once I did, like once I was able to, I already had it in my head, like you're gonna make this end game armor set. So you have to 100% this game because essentially you have to get the armor set that I ended up making as my cosplay. So I had this like determination, like, no, you have to do this and you're gonna 100% everything and you're gonna be fine. And it was, and it took a while, but I did it. So
what I guess, but besides like learning the controls, okay, so
yeah.
you nail the controls because obviously you 100% of the game.
I did.
What was the most challenging aspect of the game for you?
At first, honestly, climbing down anything. It was like I can't. It was like this just silly little like it was I kept like wait no like and like parkouring like to get these like tattoo patterns. I was like I have to get all of these artifacts and there's these tattoo patterns you can get and you have to like parkour over like ropes and like up and down and and it was frustrating and took me a long time, but ultimately I mean Ubisoft like put those in there to teach you how to parkour so you can actually do it in harder areas of the game. So I absolutely get why it was there. And I did struggle through it. But really just silly stuff like that like was the hardest for me to get used to.
That's that's it's always something because I again I these type of games are not my forte, very clearly, but I enjoy watching people play games like Assassin's Creed, Valhalla and Odyssey, and like the new Souls type game like Elden Ring,
Oh yeah.
Where it's like, man, the amount of effort and time to like get the things done in those games, and especially like how expansive some of these games are, where they're taking maybe not hundreds, but like like 80, 90 something hours, all the little side quests and all the little things. How long did it take you to 100% the game?
It was 164 hours.
See, I could have just stuck with hundreds. I didn't need to lower my expectations.
No, it's okay. That's okay. Because I feel like if I had known a little bit more about, like, if I had played Odyssey or the previous games, I probably would have been a little lower than that. Just because, and who knows? Because I also just like to run around and like take my time about stuff. So, I know people that also like fly through the main quest and maybe don't do every single achievement like right away, or like the little like the artifacts or things like that. It probably could have been a little bit less, but like I said, took my time. Wanted to milk it for all it was worth. So
I mean that's the best way. Like again, like the reason I wanted to play Skyrim was to just go and look at like the pretty scenery all over.
Yeah.
There's beautiful stuff in the games that people are putting in, and you might miss it if you're just like, I gotta do this, and this.
Yeah, or like, so Ubisoft specifically puts in like little Easter eggs that you can either find in the world or like that are in the quests, like that are maybe less important, like world events or whatever, but things you can go do. Like, there was this one that it was really ridiculous. Like, I don't even know who specifically it was referencing, but it was like basically it was like this villager you can go and find. It was just a random world event, and you had to go like basically play baseball with them, but they would not say the word baseball. You're just like, what's going on? Like, I was like, what joke am I not getting? But it was still it was like I remember it. So there's just quirky little things you can find, throughout the world too.
So you've 100%ed the game, and you mentioned that they have like the DLC coming out. Is it out yet, or is it?
Yeah, they have a couple DLCs out. So I've basically, once I 100%ed the game, I started the costume. I did the Thor armor set. So we can talk about the Thor armor set in a bit, but long story short, I just got back into the game.
Okay.
So I like basically when I was done with this costume, I was like, I asked Phil, I was like, hello, can you please just he was like, oh, buy yourself something nice at the show. When I was like wearing my cosplay, I didn't have time to go like buy something nice at the show. So I was like, hey, can you just buy me Assassin's Creed DLC? Because I really want to play. And so it's been out for a while. Like the game came out November 2020. I didn't actually finish my 100% run until like January of this year. Like I really took my time and like, you know, had to space it out just between work and other things.
Right.
So I'm finally getting back into DLC and starting with their, I believe it's Wrath of the Druids. It's basically their Ireland DLC, but there's a Frankia DLC. I know there's a Ragnarok DLC that's newer, and I feel like there's another one I'm totally forgetting about. But yeah, there's a couple out, and I mean they even have like seasonal events or things you can log in and do. So it's kind of nice. Like they just keep it. They seem to be keeping it fairly updated and loaded with new content to come back to. So
Now, I do want to ask because you posted on it, or you posted like with when you were doing the costume and everything, that you had like printed out or had stencil something on the side of your head, like you had shaved your head or the side of your head, and you had like I don't know, would you call it, is it a tattoo or is it like a
yeah, like
design?
Avor's Raven tattoo. Yeah.
And but now it's real, right?
Now it's
Like
real, yeah. I did it. I did the thing.
you like, because I know people that get tattoos, of their favorite movie characters and stuff like that, and I remember seeing like you had posted on Instagram, it's like, okay, you got it right, and then you're like, oh, but I'm like, you really did it afterwards. You're like, why not?
Yeah, yeah, I did. So I okay, so I wanted to have the head tattoo, like the classic, like out of the box. You start a game with Eivor, and she's got the tattoo on her head, the Raven tattoo on the right side of her head. I was like, okay, I'm gonna like. I traced the artwork that I could find and made my own vector of it. I sent it off to this company, Inkbox. If you ever need a semi-permanent tattoo, absolutely highly recommend Inkbox. It was really cool. But I sent them my artwork and got back this little. It's like a little patch, and it's basically like a little. Seems like a little ink dye that you can like stick
Okay.
to your skin anywhere on your body. So I did that originally for competing in the costume because I wanted to have a realistic looking tattoo on my head. And as I had it on, I was like, this looks pretty cool. Like I already shaved my head. Like it looks real neat. And like you said, I posted on Instagram. I'm like, is it weird that I really want this? Like this is really neat. And I was actually kind of baffled. Like I got 100% positive feedback of like, if it makes you happy, just do it. And like, you can always grow your hair out. Like, who cares? Like, it looks really cool. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go do it. So I did. Mm-hmm.
That see that's something like just like I don't want to say dedication, but it's like I think that's almost one of the things that I guess people can do, like besides like what you do with crafting, but like to really show like how much something means to you. Like you not only did you craft what you crafted, but you got something from that game, and you're
Yeah,
like, now you have it forever. It's just
forever,
it's incredible.
forever to Valhalla. Yeah, I actually, my really good friend David, not you, David, but another David, asked me recently right after I got it. He was like, "So, like, you loved the game so much, like, that you got this tattoo. What about it?" And I was like, to be honest, like, I had to kind of face this as he asked me. I was like, it was more the hours I spent making my costume
Hmm.
and getting to know every little intimate detail and feeling a connection to a character that way more than just the game. Like so obviously like there's the game and there was this love of it, but like I even knew I wanted to make this armor set before I finished the game, like before I had it all. Like,
Hmm.
it was this like that's really beautiful, like I'd love to have that, like let me look at all these details. And it's spending all those hours and hours working on it and loving it, putting that love into it that really made it like that's why I wanted this tattoo more, I think. and beside the fact that I'm like, I look really badass, like, like it was that, it was the dedication I already put into the costume, and it was kind of like this little like, yeah, you did it, like it's almost like a little badge of honor in a
Hmm.
really personal, weird way. And that's all like aside from maybe more personal reasons too of like personal just like discovery and like looking into like paganism and like different kinds of paganism and like my own personal spirituality that played into it a little bit too. So
Okay. And out of curiosity, with like the armor build, the tattoo, did anyone from Ubisoft like your stuff, comment, anything of that nature, or did
so
they?
so actually when I was starting the costume, when I knew I was going to do it, this was June of 2021. I reached out to the artist that works for Ubisoft, Pierre Revenau, and I may be totally botching his last name, but I will send you a link so we can add his stuff and his art station and his links down below as well.
Okay.
So he's the designer that works for Ubisoft, the concept artist that made the Thor armor set. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, I really want to make this costume. I'd love to just chat with you if you can give me some time. And he was so kind. Like I chatted with him on a Zoom call in June of 2021 for about an hour and a half. And, asked him questions about the design and like why certain things were done and like how it fit into like, Viking styles and history from, the 9th century, et cetera, et cetera. And so I did start there actually with that contact before I even,
That's awesome.
yeah, it was really cool. Like, it was really cool that he, gave me that time and to pick his brain as like a starting point. So that influenced a couple decisions I made along the way as well, as far as like how I made stuff, and just being able to like look into further like historical elements into the costume. But so I started with him, and he's commented and seen the costume. And really appreciates it, and I hope maybe one day he can actually see it in person. But I know he's up in Canada, and we're way down here in Florida. So if it ever works out, it works out. But no, I mean, I've tagged like, Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft on some posts, and I haven't gotten anything from them other than Pierre. So
Come on now, Ubisoft people. Like,
I'll keep tagging them. I don't care.
I see so many other companies. I'm going to shame them now. I see so many other companies
Honestly,
that share people's cosplay work and everything
yeah,
on their feeds. Like, come on,
I know.
Ubisoft.
I feel like it's like, so I'm pretty much like solely on Instagram. And I feel like bigger companies like that are on more so like Twitter, honestly. And I can't figure out Twitter. I miss the bandwagon. I think I like just like a couple years, but I'm on it, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to be here. It's just
Well, Twitter half the time makes me hate like humanity in general. So
yeah.
like then
Yeah.
the other half, it's like, okay, but I really feel like I don't fit in anywhere, so I'll just exist and people can find me if they want to.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, like I took the time to make my @Dovah design on Twitter, but I don't think I've ever even posted anything. I've just like followed a couple people. So
Well, you gotta claim it so that way people don't like
right.
steal it from you.
Exactly.
That's the whole new thing now.
Yeah. Yeah. It is
Things that you got to think about.
plain.
So if people they haven't played Valhalla yet, what's your selling point to them? Why should they buy it?
So my personal selling point, which probably isn't gonna like hit a wide audience, but hey, I can say it's probably gonna hit like somewhere within that 50% mark, maybe. I love that canon Eivor is female Eivor. Um, so it'll hit at least our, let's go female audience here. Let's go like she, her the audience here that's like power to the axe wielding women. Um, that really struck a chord with me that I was like, if you so basically I don't know how much you know about the game, David, but like you can either choose or let the game choose if you're male or female Eivor. And if you let the game choose, it'll choose female Eivor. And there's certain other just like Ubisoft canon lore things that point towards female Eivor being canon Eivor. So that was a big selling point for me, personally, just feeling like the protagonist was meant to be a strong woman and not just, another guy.
Right. Right.
To be honest. But other than that, like it really is like if you like just diving into combat and you don't really want to worry about if you're just kind of like, oh, I've never played Assassin's Creed because I don't really like sneaking around and doing it. You don't have to. You absolutely don't have to. Just go in, axes swinging, kill everyone if you want. You can do that. So that's my selling point. As loose as it is.
That is a great selling point. I
Okay, well,
mean,
thank you. Good.
Because again, I am not the sneakiest of people when playing games. It's not what I do. Even back in the day when it was like, you need to be a ninja and do all like this stealth stuff so no one notices you.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops!
Whoop.
They have noticed me.
It's funny because I absolutely have a Nightingale logo on the back of my car. Like I just have like the Skyrim like stealth class logo literally on my car, and it's but I still just kill everybody. And it's like classic Elder Scrolls stealth archer. But no, let's just what, forget it. I bounce back and forth. What can I say?
You do what you do.
Yeah.
You just gotta play how you play, and you just whack the things with the axe or the sword, and
when all else fails, just
exactly
kill everybody.
Exactly. So from Valhalla, and we've mentioned it throughout the episode. You've turned what you originally started like, and now it's like full-fledged. It is your business of crafting and creating and everything that goes into it now.
Yes, I do that now. That is my job. It's great. And it's scary. Like it's that Instagram clip. I don't know if anyone that's listening has heard it, but it's like that you're going through reels and there's that clip that's like, I didn't want to work a 9 to 5, so I started my own business. Now I work 24/7. It's like, it's true. It's true. So I did that thing and worked 24/7.
And you're like, dang, I wish my boss was nicer to me. Oh
my boss is such a jerk. I gotta like work before I even have a cup of coffee some days. It's terrible. Who does that?
Now, when we talked in 2017, it was not yet full-fledged business stuff. Like I know that you were like taking commissions and stuff back then, though, right?
I wasn't. No, I wasn't actually. I was really just doing it as a hobby. On the weekends. Yep.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I thought like I could have sworn like you had an Etsy store or something at that point, but maybe I am mistaken.
I started my like official Etsy store in 2019, but like I had an Etsy store like from like late college when I was like doing a little bit of like clay, what do you call it? Like polymer clay stuff, but like never really updated it. So like I had the store and just didn't like, it wasn't Dovah Design yet. It was like, gotcha. I don't know what I had it called before, but I updated all of that and actually like officially got an LLC in 2019, of course, like right in time. Yeah. Like I went to a maker fair at the end of 2019 and I went to a Renaissance fair January of 2020. And then it was cool, let's shut everything down now. But I was also still working as a graphic designer at the time. So like I still had an income, I still had a steady job. And then it got to the point at the end of last year where I was like, I need to, if I'm going to do this, I need to do it now. And I was able to, with enough support, like, I mean, for my family, my husband, at least just knowing that like, if things fail, like I do have a really great support structure and I'm really lucky to have that. But I was able to, in September of last year, just be able to walk away from the quote unquote day job and do the 24/7 work for yourself kind of gig, and it was a little less scary, like knowing like the quote, I'm gonna air quotes, the pandemic is ending, right? Like air quotes. But it was nice just to know like things are at least opening and I can maybe get more sales and start actually going to shows.
Yeah, because some of the stuff that you sell is not like easily shippable, I would say.
Yeah, I try to be able to ship everything, but there's stuff that it's harder to understand what it is or like how much time I think I put into it. Like online, like there are like a lot of my little Dark Souls trinkets sell really well online. Because I also think it's a really specific niche market where there's not a lot of cool like fan made stuff out there available. So
Mm-hmm.
I do sell a lot of that online, but things like I make like little resin potions that you can display with your D&D accessories, or like I make like little like dragon pins, and it's hard to get a good photo of like the colors of like these metal pins. So a lot of it is more just like I know like at something like a MegaCon or Holiday Matsuri, it's in front of people that can appreciate it, see what it is, and can buy it there versus like hopefully finding me in the sea of really cool other handmade stuff on marketplaces like Etsy, or like heaven forbid someone just type in a search on Google, right, and like happen to find me, right, of all people. So yeah, it's a interesting marketplace.
What was the hardest transition from, obviously the day job is totally different, but what was the hardest transition for you when you switched from like, okay, you're doing this like for cosplay and for, yourself, to, okay, I'm going to do it, but I'm also like making stuff for other people, making just new stuff and new things. Like, well, I guess what was the hardest part to go from you previously to you now businessing it?
That's hard to pin down. Because like I'm a type A, plan ahead. I know what I'm doing, and I have my next 4 months like planned, right, at all times. So I'm that kind of person. So like going from like having a day job to like working for myself, it wasn't a leap as far as being able to organize or like get things done or like feel like there was something to do, or like what, like that wasn't the problem. But at the same time, there's this I guess like the stress, there's two things. There's I'm trying to keep an Etsy shop stocked with cool stuff that's like relevant, right? So like when Elden Ring came out, like I wanted to make some beast eyes and I wanted to make some jar talismans. Like I need to have these cool little things. Like what can I sculpt that'll look nice that I know is in my wheelhouse to make, and balancing commission work that like I've pre-booked. So like when I was leaving my day job, I pre-booked as many commissions out as I possibly could, like within a reasonable time frame, to know like, okay, I'm going to have this money coming in and be able to pay my bills that month. So there's like bouncing back and forth between like, oh, there's this new relevant thing I want to make, and there's these prior commitments, and just balancing that time and being able to switch my brain back and forth, even as a type A. But there's also, I mean, yeah, it also like giving up that side of like it being a hobby, like where I'm not doing as much for myself, and just being okay with that, like just being like, that's okay, like you're gonna have to work that in later and like just do this. But I think it's a lot. I don't know. All of it.
All of it, none of it. It's
all of it, none of it. It's like, yeah, I love it, I don't regret anything, but it's all hard and it's all great.
Are you still taking commissions, or is that something like a case by case scenario? If somebody reached out and was like, "Hey, do you take commissions?" Or is it just not so much anymore?
So right now, like we said, we're recording in August. I have commissions in the time that I know I can do commissions. I have them booked out through this time next year.
Whoa.
Yeah. But that's keeping in mind that like I go to a month-long Ren Fair in November. I go to a month-long Ren Fair in January. Like I have to plan around MegaCon. I'm going to plan around like next year's Tampa Bay Comic-Con and Holiday Matsuri. So like there's these events that are like weekends and weekends long that I know I need to be like in the garage, like making potions, like working leather, like making dragon masks, like making new things to bring to Ren Fair. So like I know I can't do commissions during that time. So I think right now I have like in that time, so I say I'm booked through next year, but really it's like 4 or 5 commissions that I know I'm going to be doing, that I have clients waiting for me to do. So it's not like a lot of commissions, but they're booked out that far because I know I have other stuff to do.
Right.
And so I'm actually right now, like if someone were to reach out to me, like I could give them an estimate of like hours, but I'm not gonna like take a down payment or book anything out until I get a little bit closer to this time next year and just see like where I'm at and like if I want to keep doing shop stuff or if I am able to still do commissions. So it's a little up in the air, but I do have a lot of commissions booked. Is my answer.
Well, but that's awesome. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
because you're like, oh well, I've got this, and then like whatever you sell during again like the Ren fairs and the conventions and stuff is like, oh this is nice too. Like I
Yep.
have this and I have that.
Yep. Yeah, it's so weird. It's like I'm learning the yearly cycle and it's by no means normal and probably never will be again, right? So I'm just trying to learn what my new normal is and like what the whole world's new normal is on top of that. So
Right, you're like a traveling merchant in one of these fantasy video games that just pops up along the road and it's like, hey, I've got some wares.
I have
Would you like
wares with
some?
of coin. Indeed. That's me.
Now, for people that aren't familiar or haven't gone to your site yet, because they're still listening to this episode at this point and haven't
Yes.
clicked on the show notes. You mentioned dragon masks and potions. Like, what can they find from you? Like, what's your general stockpile of things?
Yeah, right now, what I tend to keep in stock on my Etsy shop, etsy.com/shop/Dovah Design, just Dovah Design on Etsy, you'll find it. I have a bunch of Dark Souls themed stuff. So I have like a straight sword hilt, which is like your starting weapon in Dark Souls 1. I've got soapstones in red and white. I've got eye orbs in a couple different colors. So my Souls fans will know what those are. I try to keep soul gems in stock from the Elder Scrolls games, but they are super popular. So I tend to sell out at shows. I think I have one left after doing Tampa Bay Comic Con this past weekend. I have like, so they go real fast. I also have my dragon masks there. I have a couple of them listed up on Etsy, but currently need to remake my mold because I've blown them out and it's time to remake them. And hoping to do some new mask styles. So hopefully in October, when this actually releases, I should have at least one new mask style up on my Etsy shop. So that will either hopefully be a masquerade style wolf mask of my own making or some kind of raven headdress looking quote mask that's not really a mask. So yeah, check it out. See what I got up there. I might not have either yet. I don't know. No guarantees.
That's right. It's August, and you'll be listening in October or even later.
Yeah, even later,
you're
maybe.
slow to
So
the
maybe
episodes.
they'll both be up.
So things change all the time.
Yeah, you gotta go look.
What's your favorite thing to make? What do you love to just like knock out and be like, I love this. This is so cool.
Probably the dragon masks. Yeah, probably the dragon masks because they all like it's the same mold, but like so basically when I'm making these, I brush in like this metal powder into my silicone mold, and then I do resin behind that, and so the metal powder will actually stick into the mold, and it'll kind of be the base of the color. And I can just make so many combinations of them. Like recently I started doing these ones where I just leave the face of the mask all black and that's the color of my resin. But the horns are this like rainbow pattern. And then I like paint like a rainbow line under the eyes. And like, I don't know. I just love making them. I could make them all day. But yeah. Yeah, I think those. I'm gonna stick with that.
They are cool to look at, especially the different colors that you're able to do with them.
Thanks.
It is like really just fascinating to look at. And you got this one. I'm looking at your Etsy store now
Yeah.
because that's what I'm doing. The Viking Rune Bone Dragon mask.
Yeah, I love
that's
that
pretty
one.
awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, so that one I cast, but then carve in the runes, and then it's just fun to do that like gritty paint job. I really like those too. Like that one specifically. Like you just get to like make it look dirty. That's always fun for me. So.
I will say, your eye orbs. I don't know if I could have like a whole bunch of those like looking at me. Like, when you finish them, do you have to like turn them around so that way they're not looking at you?
Oh, they're in a box. I don't look at them. No, actually, I do. My husband and I keep one of each color out on our nerd shelf in the office. I need to like cycle out my nerd shelf. Speaking of, it's like I just need more stuff. Like it's full right now of half of the stuff I've made, but yeah, it's time to get some new weird shit. Yeah. But yes, I keep a couple out. They're fun.
Now we were talking, either at the beginning of the podcast or before we start recording. Your Gimli helmet, right?
Yeah.
Why? Like, out of just it was it something that you were like, okay, you know what, I'm just going to do this and see if you can do it, or was it a commission that like dropped through, like because that's a big ticket item, and I'm
Big,
like,
yes.
I'm curious as to like the history of like why.
So, what's the most fun way I can tell the story? Okay, so back before I ever played D&D, I was sitting in my office and I was with my friend Balik, and she had played some D&D games. I was like, man, I really want to play D&D. She's like, yeah, like I need a new group. And we were sitting there at this lunch table, and we turned to this guy Jim that we worked with, and we're like, hey Jim, you should be a DM for a D&D group. And he was like, okay. And we're like, cool. Jim to be our DM. And so and so I got to know Jim more. I mean, I'd been working with him for a couple of years, and he and his wife are huge Lord of the Ring fans. And, he got to know that I do all this crazy cosplay stuff. And he was like, hey, like, we want to commission you to either do a Gimli helmet or I forgot what other helmet they were considering at the time. I think it was one of the, it was one of the like human, God, what is his name? Anyway, they chose the Gimli helmet as a commission. So I made that for them as a commission. And I was like, hey, like, basically if someone reaches out to me, I actually have a couple of them coming up this next year. If someone reaches out to me and they want something that I think would be best done in a mold instead of like as a one-off out of foam or Warbler or something similar, I try whenever possible. Like if I think I could sell more in my Etsy shop, I try to just discount the rubber and the silicone mold and like the time that it takes to make that as much as possible, to give them a discount on what they want, and then also to be able to sell more in my shop. So the Gimli helmet wound up working out that way, and I was able to be like, hey, like I know you, let me give you this discount. I want to make this helmet. I'll put one in my shop. So I'm going to keep the mold, but I'll send you a helmet, like here's the price. So, so it worked out that he allowed me to do that. And he and his wife have the helmet now. And I know she wears it on like work Zoom calls all the time.
That's awesome.
It is pretty cool. But I have this other one that's available. So 2 of a kind. If you want one, hit me up. Sculpted in clay by hand.
I saw it like on the stand when you were vending recently.
Yeah.
Through the pictures, I'm like, I wonder if my big coconut head would fit that.
I have gotten it on some very large heads. So like on my Etsy listing, my friend Billy that's wearing that helmet has a real big head. I want to say he was like a 23-inch, which is just kind of standard, but I've also gotten it on guys that say like, I have a really big head, and then it fits them. So pretty proud. I think I made it just the right size for a big head. But
that's awesome. It's so cool. Like again, looking at the things that you create and do from the business side standpoint, and then seeing the like the armor builds that you do for the cosplay side of things is just incredible to see. The craftsmanship, the work, the level of detail that goes into it.
Thank you.
And I was talking with another person that happened to win like a different costume contest, and they were like, oh, people will never understand like the number of hours and the materials and stuff, and they see like the big giant check that people get, and it's like but that doesn't even come close to paying for anything.
God,
like
no.
What you've done.
That's just nice to have. It's just like cool. Like I guess I'll like put this towards my bills this month or something, since I spent all my money on leather and resin. Yeah.
It just blows me away when people see that and they're like, "Oh man, you won, grand prize at this convention, and you've got like the big check," and people are like, "Yeah, it probably doesn't even cover like not even like half, but like a third, a quarter, an eighth of the time, not only like that, plus like the expenses to go into like creating some of that stuff."
Yeah. To put that into perspective too, so for Eivor's Thor armor, I tracked it. This is the first personal project. Like, so since I went off on my own, I've been tracking my hours for everything just to know. And that's just something that I kind of carried over from my graphic design job, that I was finally like, okay, if I'm going to go out on my own, like I need to know how much time I'm actually spending on these commissions, see if my estimates are correct, know how long I'm spending on social media, like making reels, right? So I'm tracking all my time. And part of that was tracking this Thor armor, because essentially it's a marketing budget, like, for lack of a better term. Like, I'm not getting paid for this. Like, I'm putting in all the hours myself, and like I'm doing it to just basically promote my business, but really just make myself happy. But so I tracked all my hours on the Thor armor, and final hour count was like 904 hours to make that costume. So just like to put that into some perspective too, if I'm actually quoting out a commission, like if anyone was to reach out to me and quote a commission, I give you the quote for the hours. I charge $30 an hour to make a custom piece. So times 900, that's $27,000 of hours. And that's not my resin. That's not my, 12 yards of 100% linen and, my silicone and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, it's nice to have that $1,000 best in show check, but that's it'd be better if someone paid me $27,000. But yeah.
Yeah, I typed in like how much money I make from my day job times that, and I was like, oh
yeah,
that's
900.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's like buying a Starbucks drink, and it's like, okay, the money's all gone. $1,000 is that, like, I have just bought like the most expensive Starbucks drink for like my break in hours, like.
Yeah. I mean, hey, like, I'm never going to complain about when I will never complain about it. It's still great to have it. It's just, the perspective, like you were saying, whoever you were speaking to, they're not wrong. It's absolutely like it's never going to it's never for the money that we're doing it. Like it's for the love, so.
I have a cosplay armor question. Okay.
Yeah.
When you're done, like you have done worn the armor, you've won your grand prize, you got the check. Like what happens to the armor? Like do you display it in your house? Is it something where it goes into a storage bin and you don't see it again until like a future time period? Like what do you realistically do with the everything once you're done with it?
It's kind of a combination of both. For me, at least. I can't speak to everybody. So I have several bins full of costumes, and what I'll do is cycle through. I have a mannequin in my office, and realistically, I can only fit the one mannequin in my office to display something. So right now, let's just go with what I have right now. I have my Skyrim helmet actually permanently displayed in my master bedroom next to a Solaire helmet that is to represent me and my husband. So we have that in our master bedroom. So I have that out. I get to look at that. It's pretty fun. And then in my office, I have a mannequin. I've got my Artorias cosplay displayed on that, but it only fits like the top half. So the other half is like in a bucket because I can't put it out. And it's just going to get all dusty if I leave it on the floor anyway, right? My Eivor costume that I just finished, it's needs a couple updates and repairs, so it's still packed up in its box except the hood and cloak, which I wanted to hang up. And sometimes I may or may not just put on while I'm playing Valhalla because it feels pretty cool to just wear that instead of just have a blanket on in the office.
Right.
So, and then like Snow White, my Crusader, and the other parts of my Skyrim costume are in buckets divvied up as they fit, but I also have my my Crusader shield is just in my closet. So every day I walk in and it's just kind of in there. Like it just doesn't really fit anywhere else, but I get to look at it at least.
Right.
Yeah, like but it's a mix. Like if I could display all of them, like if I had a little bit more space, and if I was a little bit less jumpy at night, I could have more mannequins.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I totally understand as somebody that used to have to work like way back in the day with like even the cardboard cutouts of people.
They surprise you.
You turn quick enough and it's either like opening or closing time, and it's like, who's in here with me? Why are they still okay, never mind.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, that's just Chris Hardwick. That's fine. Like, oh god, you scared me. Oh Jesus. Like yeah.
with the, and I know you said with the move to, you're full time doing this, and that some of the time, you're going to have to understand that you're putting yourself off, and not doing the thing like for yourself.
Yeah.
Do you have a current plan of what's your next project? Is that even something that is on your mind right now? And is it like every year you're going to do like one personal project, or is it like even more spaced out, like to like, okay, maybe in 2024 I will have this project done?
Yeah, it's seeming more like the latter, where I can maybe do something for myself every other year, or maybe every 3. But that being said, I mean, my current plans, like I already have improvements that I want to make to Eivor. So since I won the SuperCon contest this year, it's actually a qualifier for the Reed Pop cosplay circuit. So I'm going to C2E2 in 2023 with Eivor to compete on the national level. So I'm like the Southeast representative, if you will, in that circuit.
Okay.
So I know that I want to make improvements, and I want to make more weapons. So like I've already got plans to do the legendary Raider axe, and of course the Thor hammer that matches the set. And I'd love to also do like a shield and a bow, and just be able to kind of like swap out accessories as I feel like it, because why not? And I feel like doing something like that where I'm giving myself like little goals, like one prop at a time, or like one little improvement at a time, or more detail on a costume that's already pretty much finished. That's going to give me a little bit of an outlet that isn't as, stressful, or as a big of a chunk of time where like I'm losing these 900 hours that I could be doing commissions, or, whatever else I could be doing in my shop. So that's my current plan, is keep adding to this costume. I mean, I'm committed enough with this tattoo on my head that, I probably did. So that's the current projection. And then, yeah, maybe by the time they release Elder Scrolls 6, I can consider a new costume. So I will just leave it to Todd Howard to decide when my next cosplay will be. Yeah.
That is like I totally understand. By the time you come back on for the next episode, it'll be like, okay, I'm all in on Elder Scrolls 6, and I saw this thing, and I got a new head
tattoo. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I hope, I really do hope I could do something for. I mean, there's still like, I still want to make a Spriggan costume from Skyrim, but like that's been on the back burner for a long time. Obviously, still hasn't happened. So,
you can only do so much, and I mean 904 hours.
Yeah,
that's a chunk of time.
A little bit,
Mm-hmm.
That's what 7 Assassin's Creed playthroughs. I don't know. 6 maybe, but
man, if only there was a speedrunner for that.
Yeah,
let me speedrun this armor.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, Sam. Well, with everything that you've done, there's a lot to see, and a lot to check out. If people haven't already, paused the episode and clicked on the links at this point, what are the best places to find you to marvel at your work, to go buy the stuff, to go see what you're doing?
Yeah, the best place to follow what I'm currently working on, or just to see photos of stuff that I've done, is definitely my Instagram. I post stories as much as possible. I post reels as much as possible. So Instagram.com/Dovah Design. I'm also on Etsy, so that's the place that I keep most up to date with shop items. I do also have just a personal website, www.dovahdesign.com. I do have a shop on there as well that's typically, unfortunately, not as well stocked as Etsy, but I got to split my time. I'm doing it all manually. I'm like, the marketing person, the social person, the maker, the yada yada, you got it, the thing. So those are the 3 best places to find me.
Awesome. Well, I'll have the links in the show notes to all of those. So that way, if you're listening and you want to check out Sam's work, just click on any of the links, and you'll find it, and you'll find the stuff. And then, of course, make sure you comment and like and share stuff, so that way people can people can see what Sam is doing even more, because the algorithm is wonky, and sometimes you never see the people that you follow.
The wonkiest.
But I want to just, again, it's rare for me to have people like I generally go out and I ask my previous guests like, hey, you want to come back? But it's even more rare for guests to actually say like, hey, I'd love to come back. And I just want you to know, Sam, like I really appreciate that. Like that warms my heart in so many different ways
Yeah.
of doing like this content creation type stuff where it's like somebody's so interested that they want to come back. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
No, you're welcome. Thank you. I mean, and really anytime, but I feel like definitely no matter what, next one I'm going to contact you has to now be when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. So,
It's got to be like I'm going to have to put it in my notes for
yeah.
like future episodes.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls 6,
Yeah.
contact Sam.
Like whatever day it comes out, or maybe like, no, okay, we have to like record a week after it comes out. So I got some content under my belt. I gotta know all the memes already, but yeah. We'll see how many arrows to the knee and like, still in my sweet roll, all that stuff.
Absolutely. We'll definitely get that. I'll make sure I put it on my future episodes list.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for listening to Tales from the Fandom. Subscribe to us on iTunes or your podcast app of choice. Follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/talesfromthefandom to see photos, links, leave feedback, and check out upcoming guests. If you'd like to be a guest, email David at talesfromthefandom@gmail.com.